Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Hari Bol.
When a fire starts, every moment matters.
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. It's from Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 5 and 6. It will be given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Please kick up your volume on your listening devices. Sometimes these recordings are on a low volume so you can hear properly. Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll start right now.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Shri Sri Radha Krishna Govindam Samakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Avita Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled. All glories to the assembled God. Thank you very much. Jayasana Mahitam Jadasana Mahito Jiva Atmanam Trigunatmakam Paropi Manute Anartha Tatkritam Chabhipaddhate. So our present position is like this, that Sanamohito, bewildered, puzzled by Maya. We are eternal, part and parcel of God, but on account of being enchanted by this material energy or external energy of God, we have forgotten ourselves and we are now entangled. We have forgotten our goal of life. Nate vidu sartha gating hi Vishnu durasayaji vahirartha manina. The conditioned soul means the living being, the spirit soul, who is conditioned by these laws of material nature. The laws of material nature is that you have to accept a certain type of body according to your propensity. We create propensity, and Krishna is so kind that he gives you the facility. All right. Just like the tiger, he wants to suck blood, or any man if he wants to suck blood, then he will be given the facility of a tiger's body. If a person has no discrimination in eating, whatever available he can eat, then he will be given facility of becoming a pig. Up to stool he can eat. So, this is stated very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita. Ishara sarvabhutanam riddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani jantrarurani maya. This is very significant. Jantrarurani maya. We are riding on a machine. This body is a machine. But we are accepting machine as myself. This is called sanamohita, bewildered. If you are running on a car, if you think I am the car, as it is foolishness, similarly, I have got this jantra, machine, body, and it is running on account of my presence, or I am driving, or Krishna is giving me intelligence how to drive. But if I identify myself with this body, exactly like a policeman, he is driving the car, and if he identifies himself with the car, he is a policeman. So this is called sanmohita. Jaya sanmohita jiva. Therefore, the example as I was citing last night, that we do not see the driver, and when the driver goes away, then we see that the car is not moving. And then I can understand, oh, the driver, my father and my son, has gone away. We sometimes cry, my father has gone away and my son has gone away. But because we are sanamohita, we actually never saw the father and the son. We accepted this coat pant body as father and son. This is called sanmoha. Bewildered. Yada sanmahita jiva. Atmanam, the spirit soul, Atmanam, Trigunatmakam. This body is Trigunatmakam. The body is made according to the modes of material nature. Karanam gunasangayasya. Everything is very clearly explained in the Bhagavad Gita. This is further development. The Bhagavad Gita, if you understand Bhagavad Gita, and if you actually surrender to Krishna, the last word of Krishna is Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam. If you actually understand Bhagavad Gita, this will be the result. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said, Taktva sadharmam charanambujam hare. Sadharma, Krishna says, sarvadharman parityajya. So that means every one of us, dharma means occupational duty. That is dharma. Characteristic. So, Krishna orders sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam. If we accept it, even by sentiment, that is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Tattva sadharmam charanambujam hare patet tatujadi bhajanna pakkota. Narada Muni says that if somebody, even by sentiment, all right, Krishna says, sarvadharman parityajya, let us stop any other business, become Krishna conscious. Even one accepts by sentiment, not thoroughly understand. He is also fortunate. He is also fortunate because he accepts the real thing. Therefore Narad Muni said that even on accepting by sentiment and later on bhajanna pakkotha, his execution of devotional service not mature and he falls down, then Narad Muni accepted jatra koba abhatra bhuta muske. Where is the loss for that person? On the other hand, the other person who has not accepted this is very regularly executing his material responsibility. What does he gain by that? This is the opinion. If Krishna consciousness is accepted even by sentiment, and after that, even if falls down, there is no loss. And if we are very faithful to our material duties, then Narad Muni says, what do you gain by that? So this is a very important thing. We do not gain anything. We gain only another body. Again begin chapter, the same struggle for existence. And that also, there is no guarantee. According to our karma, we shall have to accept a body. Karanam gunasangasya. As we associate, just like we develop a certain type of disease, as we contaminate the jar, if you contaminate the bearers of smallpox, then you have to suffer from smallpox. Nature's law is so strict. You cannot avoid it. If you have been attacked by the mosquito carrying malaria germ, then you have to suffer from malaria. The karanam gunasangas, as we take precaution that I may not be attacked with malaria or smallpox or this or that, so many we take precaution. Similarly, we have to be very precautious for our next body. If we become precautious, then there is chance of being promoted. Urdham gacchanti sattasva. If you keep yourself in the satogam, the Brahminical qualification, sama, dama, titikya, arjava, sattam, saucham, jnanam, vikyanam, astikam, brahma karma, sabhava. Similarly, there are Kshatriya qualities, there are Vaishya qualities, there are Shudra qualities, and there are Shudradham quality, less than the Shudra quality. So, in any quality, in any position, even by sentiment, tattva sadharmam, charanam bhujamvari, if you take to Krishna consciousness, that is the greatest property. From any position, it doesn't matter whether in which position he is. Either he is on the Brahmin position, or Kshatriya position, or Vaishya position, or Shudra position, or Chandal position. That is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Man hi patha vyapasritya jepishu papajoni. Papajoni, lower class, very, very lower class. Papajoni, their description in the Shastra, Kirata hunanda pulinda pukkasa abhira sambha jabana kasadaya. So this Papajani, these black, they are also considered Papajani. But for everyone, Krishna consciousness is open. Kirata hunanda pulinda, hun, Kirata, Andhra, Pulinda, Pukkasa, Avira, Sambha, Jamana, Jaman, Kasadaya, Mongolia. Those who do not develop mostages, Kasada. Jannecha Papa. And lower than that. Jadupa, Sraya, Sraya. If he takes sincerely the center of the lotus feet of Krishna or his devotee. Jadupa, Sraya. Siddhanti, he becomes purified. There is no, I am to say, bar for anyone. In the Bhagavad Gita, the same thing is confirmed. Man hipartha vapasitya jeepisu papajunaya sriyavasyastatha sudra tepi janti param. So Krishna consciousness is so nice. If we take to it as our goal of life, then our life is successful. Otherwise, jayasana mohita jiva atmanam trigunatmakam. We shall continue the life of changing this body. That we have to do. We cannot be independent. Prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimuratma. If we think that we are independent, that is due to our ignorance. We are not independent. Prakite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimuratma. He is simply sanmohita by false prestige. He is not independent at all. We should always remember this. We are dependent on the laws of nature. We cannot say now we have invented some scientific discovery. We shall not going to die. That is not possible. You must die. That is the law of nature. You must die, you must take birth also, and you must be diseased, and you must suffer from old age. These are the 4 disadvantages of material existence. So if we want to get out, this is anartha. That will be explained in the next part. This is Anartha upasamam sakshat bhakti yogam madhukhaji lokasya ajanata vidyan chakre sattata sanghita. This Srimad Bhagavatam is sattata sanghita, is spiritual knowledge. It has nothing to do with anything material. Simply spiritual knowledge. So vidyan means they must learn it, Vyasdev, not ordinary. Srimad Bhagavati Mahamuni Krite is Mahamuni. Muni means thoughtful philosopher, and he is Mahamuni. He is greater than any thoughtful philosopher. Vyasdev, Vedavyas. His name is Vedavyas. Vedavyas means he compiled all these Vedic literature. And at last he summarized the whole Vedic knowledge into Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra, a small aphorism. Janmadasya jata athato brahma jigyasa anandamaya abhyasa. There's a short aphorism, and it has got very deep meaning. That is Vedanta. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is commentary on the Vedanta Sutra by the author himself, under the instruction of his Guru Narada. Therefore we began this, that according to the advice of Narada Muni, that you write about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we began this. Bhakti yogena manasi sammak pranite amale avasyak purusham purnam maya chajadada. By Bhakti Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga is also mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti Yoga. But about Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Hatha Yoga and other yogas, there are descriptions But at last Krishna advises that the most confidential part of knowledge, I am speaking to you, Arjuna, is sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam. This is real game. So this is bhakti yoga. To surrender unto the Supreme Lord, that is bhakti yoga. So here Vasudev began his realization. Bhakti yogena manasi sammak pranihite amale. By bhakti yoga, you can cleanse your mind without any contamination, immediately. If you want to be liberated from the contamination of material existence or material modes of nature, then immediately you take to bhakti yoga. That is also confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Man chabhya vicharini bhakti yogena jasevate saguna samatitayeta brahma bhuyaya kalpate. You want to realize yourself as Brahma. We are Brahma. There is no doubt about it. But we have no realization because sanmohita, jaya sanmohita, the Maya has captured us. So, immediately if you want to be liberated, mukti means mukti hitya annatha rupam. Mukti hitya annatha rupam sarupena avastiti. This is mukti. Sarup, our sarup is our spiritual life. When we give up other activities, annatha, which is not spiritual, material activities, that is not our actual business. Actual business is spiritual activity. Material activity means this body. To keep this body in comfortable position. And the body is changing. Now, today I am Indian, I am very great Indian leader or very good philanthropist. Now, tomorrow or the next life, I may not be Indian, I may be Chinese, or I may be European. Then my whole business program changes. Again another nationality, another feeling. In this way, and if I become cats and dogs, then another mentality. This is going on. So, I am forgetting that my identification is spiritual, aham brahmasmi, and I am accepting all these unnecessary things, anartha. Say anartha. If you want to stop this anartha, if you want to keep yourself in your original position of spiritual identity, then you have to take to bhakti yoga. This is the conclusion of the Shastra. Anartha upasamam saksha. Directly, not indirectly. Anartha. This anartha. I am not this body, but I have to change this body after 100 years or 10 years or 50 years, according to the size. The dogs and cats, they change 10 years, the cows 20 years, and human being at most 100 years, and the demigods many millions of years. But death is there. You have to change that body. When Hiranyakashipu executed very severe austerity, so Lord Brahma came to him. What do you want? You are executing so severe austerities. What is your desire? Now you want to become immortal. So Brahma said, that is not possible. Nobody is immortal within this material world. I am not immortal. How can I give it the benediction of immortal? That is not possible. So nobody, everyone is under the laws of nature. It may be the duration of time, may be little more or less, but everyone must die. This is. And if we want to stop this business of material existence, then here is the recommendation. Anartha upasama, anartha. Why we shall die? This question does not arise. If I am immortal, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, na hannate hannamani sarire, na jayate na mriyate va kadachit, nitya sasatayam na hannate hannamani. This question does not strike us, that if I am immortal, I have no birth, I have no death, na jayate mriyate va kadachit, at any time. Not that sometimes I was dying. No, never. Nitya sasatayam na hannate hannamani sarire. This is the position. Then why have I accepted this birth and death and old age disease? This is my problem. We do not think that. Neither we are educated how to stop it. But there is process. Tattadiham punarjanmanaiti mameti. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, if you simply try to understand Krishna, janma karmam cha me dibbam, jujanati tattva, not Krishna ordinarily, factually, Krishna tattva, janma karmam me dibbam, jujanati tattva, actually. In fact, in truth, then what is the result? Tattadehang punarjanmanaiti. Is this cycle of birth and days, old age is stopped. Tattadehang, we have to give up this body. That is certain. But after giving up this body, no more material body. Then what happens? Is finished? No, it's not finished. Mameti, he comes to me, back to home. And when you go there, then you must possess the same body as Krishna has got. Krishna is Satchidananda Bhikkhu. Just like if you want to enter into the sun planet, the sun planet is made of fiery elements. Everyone there, their body is made of fire. So if you want to enter into the sun planet, then you must also make your body made of fire. Just like this body is made of earth. And similarly, there are different types of bodies, made of air, made of water, made of fire. These 5 elements, material. Kiti of tej marud bomb. So, in different planets. So, if you go back to home, back to Godhead, then you have to gain your original spiritual body. There is spiritual body. That we do not know. There is no education. We have got spiritual body. That spiritual body is covered by this material layer, just like your body is covered by shirt and coat. Bhashangsi jinnani tatha vihaya. Everything explained. We are simply giving up. One dress is now old and rotten, we throw it away and accept another dress. Similarly, this body, when it is not workable, it is old enough, the physiological function is not going on nicely, then there is change of body. Arjuna was advised that why you are lamenting for your old grandfather? Better kill him, he will get a new body. He will get a new body. Of course, it was spoken jokingly because grandfather. But the fact is that after the old body, just like we have got several types of body, babyhood to childhood, child to boyhood to youthhood, old body. And after this bhashangsi jinnani tathavya, when you give up this body as dress, old and rotten, we get another. This is going on. But this is anartha. Anartha means unnecessarily we are undergoing this change of body. Anartha. If you want to stop it, anartha upasamam, saksha, directly, immediately. What is that? Bhakti yogam. Anartha upasamam saksha, bhakti yogam adhokhaje. And Krishna also confirmed. This is statement of Vasudev. And Krishna also says, Manchabhya vicharini bhakti yogi na jaseva sagunan samatittayi dan brahma bhuvya. So, bhakti yoga adhokhaje. This is real purpose of life. This is real purpose of religion. Sabai pumsang paro dharmo jato bhakti adhokhaje. The same thing. That is first class religion. It doesn't matter what kind of religion you are following. But if the religious system teaches you how to become a devotee to adhokhaja, adhokhaja means beyond our sense perception, the Supreme Lord, then your life is perfect. Then you will be happy. Sabai punsang paro dharmo jato bhakti adhokhaja ahoituki apratihata jayatma samprasidati. If you want satisfaction, if you want real life, then you accept this. Jato bhakti adhokhaja, here the same thing. Anartha, this business, struggle for existence, survival of the fittest, they say. But nobody is fit to survive. Everyone has to die. Nobody, even big scientists or big philosophers, they cannot survive. They talk of millions of years, but personally they live only 50 or 60 years. This is their position. They simply cheat people. Maybe, perhaps millions of years, and you are going to live. For 50 years, we are talking of millions of years. So, this is anartha. So, anartha upasamsa. If we want to stop this unwanted business, if you don't want, go on with your business. Bhutta praliyate. Now take this life, this body of human being or Indian, and then American, then cat, then dog, then horse, then tree. So many, 8 million. You go on if you like. But if you are actually intelligent, if you are disgusted that this is not very good business, this is anartha, unwanted business, I have been forced, jaya sanmohita, being bewildered, being illusioned, being misdirected by this material energy. I am trying to be happy here in this material energy. It is not my business. If one comes to this sense, that is stated in the book. Bahunam janmanamanti. After many births. After many births, jnanavan, one who is actually in knowledge, wise. Then what does he do? Bahunam janmanamanti jnanavan maga prabhati. He surrenders to Krishna. The same thing as Krishna says, surrender to me. If we do not do it, we have to do that. But if you want to wait, Bahunam Janma, after many births, you have to do the same business. Now why not do it now? This is intelligence. After Bahunam Janma Namante, when I actually become wise, why not become wise immediately? Krishna says, Krishna is at canvassing, why not take it up? And if you take it up, you are successful. Tattva sadanmang charanam bhajam. Even by sentiment you take it, you will be successful. It is so nice. So, as they recommend that anartha, this unwanted business, repetition of birth, death, old age, disease, and there is no certainty what kind of body I shall get. So this is our position. If you want to stop it, anartha upasamam, if you stop this business, bhakti yogam madakhaje. So how to execute bhakti yogam? So lokasya janata, the people in general, they do not know it. There must be, for everything there must be education. Lokasya janata vidyan. He compiled this, Srimad Bhagavad, Vidyan Chakre Sartata Samhita. For your eternal life, Here is the Sanghita, Vedic literature. You take it and study it and follow it and be happy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Another wonderful lecture by Srila Prabhupada. So many points and so many parts that he repeated about the repeated birth of and death and how disturbing it is to us when we come to the human body. Then we obviously are in a situation where our intelligence is better than the other types of bodies that are non-human. And so that's when we take advantage and get away from this anatta, the unwanted business of birth, death, old age, and disease. So, dear devotees, please unmute. And if you want to make a comment, please do so. Yes, Mother Gita, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances, or glories to
Certainly.
Srila Prabhupada.
Glory to the
Yes.
Prabhupada. Yeah.
Yes, as always, a very powerful lecture. And I was getting a realization throughout the lecture that Srila Prabhupada emphasized on the point of you're not this body. He was all the time talking about difference between body and soul, which is actually the basic foundational knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So I found that very, very interesting that we need to meditate upon. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Yes, and he stressed that a lot. And this is out of the spiritual master's compassion, because he knows what the truth is, and he's saying many, many ways we are suffering. And Vyasadeva has written what he's written and summarized very nicely in aphorisms, as he said earlier. He says, get away from this unwanted business of repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease, and go back home. That's our position in the material world. We're suffering, but we don't realize that. Anyway, any more comments? Any more takeaways? Any questions? Please unmute and make your comment or ask a question or whatever has inspired you as a takeaway. Do that, and so we can all have a nice discussion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances.
Prabhupada.
One of my takeaways, I joined a little late. I just got back a little late from the temple, but one of my takeaways was a word that Srila Prabhupada used that really made me realize, I've heard it many times, but somehow today was very strong. Where Srila Prabhupada used the word disadvantage, that this material body is a disadvantage. And I was really thinking, oh my God, we look at the material body as an opportunity to grow materially, to, grow in our status, in our jobs, and our this, and everything is so material. But then he's saying that it's a disadvantage because it's not gonna, this material body is one time gonna be perished. And then he mentioned, I'll come back in a Chinese body, European body, all over again. So that word disadvantage is really a very strong word to really help us realize how this body is so material and so temporary. And having this body, what can we do to put it to good use for Krishna consciousness? So somehow that word was very strong for me, disadvantage. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes, it's a disadvantage. It's a disadvantage to have a material body. It's a disadvantage to be in a material world. The soul is Satchidananda, but we're not experiencing that. Not all knowledge, not all, it's not, there's eternity, it's not in this body. As he was talking about, the scientists may talk about things that may have happened millions of years ago, but how long do they live themselves? At most, from their age that they had, 50 years maybe, add to it, even that, if they get to it. And so, yeah, it's a huge disadvantage. But it's a great advantage to know that we are at the disadvantage. If a person is ignorant about it, then they will keep on taking all these bodies. So Bahunam Jamanam Ante, after so many births, finally we get to a point where we get the human body and to go on the next step to understanding the situation with our intelligence in the human body, it's actually a great realization how much the material life is such an illusory situation. And so then, the path out of it is Bhakti Yoga, as Srila Prabhupada explained. Hare Krishna. Any more comments? We have quite a bit of time now. So anyone that wants to chime in, please unmute your phone and unmute, and I keep saying phone, unmute your Zoom, and please make a comment, a wonderful comment. Yeah, all of that is good. We all learn from it. Hare Krishna.
I
Hare
have a
Krishna,
comment.
Prabhu.
Oops, sorry.
Go ahead, Mataji.
No. Please go ahead.
No, I will go after you, Mataji, please.
Okay. My comment is away from Srila Prabhupada's lecture, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I noticed that during Bhagavatam classes, whenever Anasuya comes on video, she has a napkin on her shoulder. And that makes me think that she's probably cooking.
Yeah, she's multitasking. Yeah.
So
She begins to prepare for
I was thinking maybe you can pass on some prasadam to Atlanta, Haribol.
Yeah.
Mother, I'm cooking for Nitai Gaurachandra's lunch offering, Mother, so I need to juggle the time. I will
Yeah.
try to ship it, Mother, if I can, if it gets there. Thank you, Mother.
Thank you.
Maybe the sweets for real, because they can last in the meal. Yeah, she doesn't prepare every morning, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, the burger to be offered to Sicily Chanda. So she has to and then she has to work too from on the computer. So she multitasks in the morning like that. Hare Krishna.
And one day is Rukmini's lunch cooking too.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. Need to go for
Hare,
Prabhu. Please go on.
yes,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, my point was Prabhupada has focused on the point we are spiritual identity. And when we practice the Bhakti yoga, then we will able to get out of this material entanglement. So that was the point. I liked it. Prabhupada has stressed a lot that we are not this material body, we are spiritual identity. And to come out of this material body, we have to practice the Bhakti yoga. That was my takeaway.
Yes, very much. He stressed that in many, many parts of this lecture. So, as he said, in the present position, when he started with Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 5, when he read that through, he said, the present position we are in is that we are puzzled. The first thing, we're puzzled, and we're puzzled by Maya. This morning, actually, I was thinking about it, if you don't mind my sharing, that Maya really, really, really has done a great job making people so bewildered. Samohita, he talked about it a lot, bewildered. People are, even in their religions, they're serving one God, at least they claim to be serving one God, but they have differences, and they use the differences against each other. I've always wondered about it. If I was and of course I'm not, but if I was in God's position, I'd be looking at it and say, or let's say the Christians looking at them. So, well, what are they doing? They're trying to get to me, and at the same time, they're fighting each other and trying to put each other down, and that's called religion. That's why Krishna says abandon all of them anyway and just surrender to him. Anyway, yeah, so that's the puzzling situation. And I read something in the there was a quotation from the Holy Quran, and that really stresses the point that I'm trying to make here. We're trying to make, and that is the Holy Quran text is that the Jews and the Christians think that they're the only ones going to heaven, but they are an illusion. This is the Holy Quran that says that. So of course, you hear that, you're a Muslim and you hear that, and then the Christian says, Oh, some of them, it's got to the point where they don't even believe that Allah is God. So it's just not a good idea to be in the middle of all of this, hoopla that's going on. And so Krishna has given us a way out in Bhagavad Gita 1866. Just abandon all of them. And surrender to Krishna and be in Bhakti Yoga. Hare Krishna. Any more comments? Questions? Takeaways?
There's one that I really liked that Srila Prabhupada said that our Sarup is spiritual. I was really happy, I've heard questions about what's our Sarup, and Srila Prabhupada made it so simple. Our Swarupa is spiritual. And that's what I really like about it. He just made it so simple, so straightforward. That is how Swarupa spiritual. So I was really liking that, that point, that how Srila Prabhupada made it so simple and so straight to the point, that's our Swarup is spiritual. So that was my takeaway too. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Not only that, but he also said Satchidananda. Spiritual, and the nature of it's like that. So some of my takeaways are, as I mentioned earlier, the present position we're in is that we're puzzled by Maya. So we have forgotten our goal of life, and he defined it, which is Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, 5th chapter, text 31. He's quoted it so many times. Nati vitu swata gatim hi Vishnu. The goal of life is to satisfy the senses of Lord Vishnu, Krishna. And then he mentioned, depending on what a living entity wants to do in this illusion, he gets a type of body to fulfill that. Then he gave an analogy about a car driver thinking that he's a car. So foolish car driver thinks that he's a car. But the fact is, we don't actually see the driver. In our case, we don't see the driver because the soul is so very small and we only see the body, we didn't see the soul. But when somebody dies, then we cry and say, oh, he's gone. But still, when he was alive, only the body was what we could see. So we never really see the soul, but we get the sense that he never was the body because when the person dies and the body is gone. So another point that he made was, which is one of my takeaways, is that even if Krishna consciousness is accepted by sentiment, not truly by sentiment, and even if the person falls down, that is, temporarily stops practicing Krishna consciousness, Srila says, Narada Muni says there's no loss. But if someone does his material responsibilities very well, but their material responsibilities, what is the gain? What is the gain? It's funny, it's also in Christianity that Jesus said, what profiteth a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? That's actually talking about giving spiritual food to the soul. That's most important. So fulfilling material responsibilities very well, but nothing in Krishna consciousness on spirituality, then what's the gain? We have to be cautious about our lives, then we can be promoted. And he said, in many ways, he stressed this, in whatever position we are, if we accept Krishna consciousness, we could be Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it doesn't matter. If we accept Krishna consciousness and practice it, that is the greatest profit, he was saying. And if we think we are independent, then that is our illusion. We are forced by nature's laws. We have to get sick, we have to get old, we have to die. And this is all summarized so nicely by Vedas, who is a Mahamuni. Muni means thoughtful person. He compiled the Vedas and then summarized them into aphorisms, a good many of which are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Dhanmadhyasya and so many he quoted. So if we want to be liberated from material activities, we have to take to Bhakti Yoga. Because if we don't, we go on with material activities, the body will keep changing, and then you have a different type of body, sometimes a European body, sometimes an Indian body, sometimes Chinese type body, and then sometimes a cat body or a dog body. They live like 10 years or something like that. A dog, maybe 20 years. A human being, at tops, 100 years. But then we're still struggling for existence. Then he gave one example of Hiranyakashipu. He wanted immortality and he asked Brahma. Brahma said that that's not possible because he himself has to leave a body too. So our problem is we are accepting these bodies. And to stop it, we have to accept Krishna consciousness. Then no more death. We get our original spiritual body, which is like Krishna's body, Satchidananda. We have to adopt Krishna consciousness. That is real religion. And we have to stop struggling for existence. Nobody is fit to survive here. Everyone has to die. He said the scientists are cheating others, but they themselves have to die too. There's 8 million types of bodies. So one after another. So Vyasadeva has recommended getting away from material repetition, this struggle for existence in one body after another. And so that goes on if we are bewildered, as he said earlier, puzzled by Maya, then we're going to stay in this situation of one body after another, after another, after another. But those who have come to Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada keeps repeating it because through his mercy, he feels for us. He definitely feels for us. Who else would come, almost 70 years of age, travel in a boat, suffer 2 heart attacks, and still come and not even heard by these intelligentsia, so-called, and has to deal with people who have, are in the lowest mode of ignorance, the way they're dealing with their bodies, and still use them and convert them. It's a great miracle. And then spread Krishna consciousness the whole world over. That is great compassion from a spiritual master. And so many, he was smart enough to record his lectures, and now we get to hear him talking about those. It's interesting yesterday, if I can add that to it too, and then open up for more comments if you want. Yesterday, Bhagavad Prabhu was giving a class, and he was doing a little comparison here about the great, devotees of the Lord who have come to the earth to try to help others, as Srila Prabhupada did. And he talked about Srila Prabhupada's lectures being recorded. He said, we don't have a recording of lectures from Jesus. To hear Jesus' own voice saying things the way it should be. We don't have a recording from Muhammad, peace be unto him. We don't have a recording, but we're fortunate enough to have a recording of Srila Prabhupada. So you hear him directly telling you, and quoting the Shastra to back it out. So yes, from technology, of course, we are fortunate at this time that the Buddhists have used technology the way they have. So now we can hear the founder Acharya's own voice, directing what to do. And then, of course, we have transcripts so we can read, and the spiritual books that he's giving wonderful commentaries to. So we have been given more exposure to the truth, and we have to take advantage of it. As this bottom line, we have to take advantage of it and help each other as Maya gives us challenges to try to, stay the course and help each other. Hare Krishna. Any more comments? Any more? Any questions or any more takeaways? If not, then we thank you very much for coming on there. I was just thinking, boy, if I wasn't hearing every day, what would I do with my life if I wasn't hearing? So much is explained when you hear. Hare Krishna. Panchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.